Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we are going to make a simple bass pluck, also known as a donk, on the Novation Peak, and it's inspired by DJ Rum or Drum, his track Sex, and it sounds like this. So let's get into it. So first up, obviously, we're going to want to initialize the patch. For this one, we're going to use FM, and we're only going to use 2 oscillators, but technically the sound's only going to be coming from one of them. So first up, let's head over to the voice, and we're going to keep the unison and detune and everything the same, but we want to change the mode from poly over to mono. From there, we're going to go over to the mod matrix, and this is where we're going to set up the FM, so when we start designing the sound, we're going to be able to hear what's going on and everything like that. So we want to get the destination, so let's cruise over to here, destination, and we're going to scroll through until we see all the way FM 1 into 2, and then the depth we're going to go all the way, so 63 for the depth there. We've done all of the legwork. Now we can start to design the sound and go from there. So let's take these effects off here, and we've just got, let's mute the drums. So at the moment it just sounds. And we can also just take off this little one. So obviously that doesn't sound anything like the finished patch. So let's start going in and shaping the 2 oscillators, and then we're going to work our way along from left to right. So for oscillator 1, we're going to make sure that we're set to 8, and then it's set to a sine wave. We've got a sine wave there. And then for oscillator 2, where the sound is going to be coming from, we're going to set that to 16. And we're also going to change that to a sine wave. So now you can see getting us more and more into the ballpark there. Next up, we want to set the volume. So at the moment, we have all the volumes on. So let's take oscillator 1 down to 0 and oscillator 2 up to full. So you can already hear there, it's starting to shape the sound a little bit more, and you can hear that FM. If I come back over to the mod again and take this down to 0, and then I'll start to increase it as we go. You see, hear that FM where we're feeding 1 into 2. So there we go, we're getting that sound that we're kind of after now. So we've gone through the volume. Now we're going to head over to the amp and the mod envelopes. First up, for the amp envelope, we'll set that to 0 for the attack. Decay is going to be at 50, sustain is going to be at about 30, and then the release is going to be up to 60. So you can hear it's a little bit more plucky now. Now we're going to head over and look at the mod envelope, and the mod envelope is going to affect the cutoff filter, but it's only dictated, how much of this envelope is dictated by this envelope depth here. So what I can do to get us going is we'll set the depth. We'll go with 51, and then I'll start to adjust the mod envelope here, and we'll see how it goes. Let's bring this down a little bit. So you can hear it's very plucky. So let's set this, the mod envelope now. So attack is going to be 0. decay. We go 55. Sustain is going to be 43. And then the release is going to be 51. And you can hear it's nice and sort of really plucky now. From here we can adjust the cutoff filter. Let's bring that way down. And you can hear it's a little bit too tight. We want to let in a little bit more of that sound. But obviously we don't want to kind of mess around with the envelope too much. So what we can do is we've got the slope here. Ooh, bring that down again to 33. With the slope, it's at 24 dB at the moment. We can change it to 12. And you can hear it just lets in just a little bit more in the back end there. Now we can look at the resonance to add a little bit more bite to the front of that sound. And we're going to go to 62 there. And then the overdrive. Let's go about 45. We'll go 48 there. Now as we head over to the effects, let's look at the chorus. We're going to keep it on type 2. We'll increase the rate to 20. And then the level, we'll go to 60 there. So now we've kind of shaped it a little bit more and we've widened it out with this, with the chorus. But now let's cruise over to the computer and we'll look at the screen and then we'll see at the other effects that I added in to kind of give it a little bit more. So you can see here, this is our channel where the audio is coming in from the peak. I've got an EQ, and all I've done with the EQ is just taken off a little bit of the low and then dipped a little bit, sort of where the kick would be coming in. So if that's with the on, it's with the off. It's really subtle, but if you've got good monitors, you can kind of feel the difference there. It kind of tightens it up a little bit more. Next up, we used a compressor. I started with the rock kick and then kind of tweaked it a little bit more. I didn't want any distortion and stuff like that, so. And that just kind of helps add a little bit more of that attack coming in. Probably even take that down a little bit more. And then lastly, where the majority of the sort of sound is coming is the Valhalla vintage verb. And then with the drums, pull that down in the mix a little bit. So there you go, really, really short one this week, but just wanted to kind of dip in a little bit of FM, showing that you don't have to get those crazy sounds. It can kind of be a little bit smoother. You can get those good percussive sounds, and showing that you can use a combo of the effects on the device as well as in the computer. If you don't have an Ovation Peak, it doesn't matter. You just need to be able to get a soft synth or another synth that allows FM. And yeah, that's about it. So at the end of the day, hopefully this has inspired you to create something. Until next time, see you later.